A brand new Xbox exclusive game is in development from a third party who may also be working on a new Halo Infinite mode. We have more information on how Call of Duty is going to be handling cross-generation games going forward, and we got some gameplay from the canceled Star Wars game, Star Wars 1313. Welcome back to another video, guys. If you enjoy daily content, make sure to hit that subscribe button. So we've been hearing a lot about exclusive games coming to Xbox and to Xbox Game Pass being developed by third parties, obviously deals that Xbox Global Publishing has created. And we have some more information here from both Jeff Grubb and Jez Corden on what looks like another third-party exclusive game coming day one to Xbox Game Pass with Monster Hunter-like gameplay. And the codename for this game is Suerte. So far, the games that we do know about, the ones we've heard about in the past from third parties coming exclusive to Xbox, are Project Dragon from IO Interactive, which is seemingly going to be like a fantasy RPG. And obviously IO Interactive and Xbox have been building that relationship. We even saw the Hitman trilogy coming onto the service. As Dusk Falls from Interior Night is another one, and I believe that's just kind of like a narrative style game, a more of an interactive experience. And then there's Contraband from Avalanche, which we saw at E3, and this looks like a Sea of Thieves style of game, an open sandbox where you're with your buddies and you're going around and you're doing heists and you're doing different types of adventures like that. At least that's what I think that one sounds like. So they're all different styles of games and different genres, but lots of third parties working to create exclusive Xbox ecosystem and Xbox Game Pass games. Well, we have this other one here called Project Suerte, which, like I said, is reportedly a Monster Hunter inspired game. So if you've ever played Monster Hunter before, I've played Monster Hunter World. I think that was the first one I played, or maybe that was the second one I played, because I also played one on the 3DS, and it's pretty cool because you're just going around the world and you're taking on these massive monsters, and you really got to understand how to take them out with different types of combat weapons and just make sure you're working well together with the people you're playing with. And this sounds exactly like what this game is going to be like, with the big monster battles, multiplayer gameplay. And the developer behind this game is going to be Certain Affinity. Now, Certain Affinity is a well-known support studio. They've worked on a bunch of stuff, and if you go to their page, I mean, the main thing they highlight here is the Halo franchise. So they have worked on Halo, they've worked on Call of Duty. We can see here they also worked on World of Tanks. When we go down to all of their projects, they've worked on Mafia 3, Doom, again, lots of different Call of Duty games. Halo 4 is one of the big ones that they worked on, as well as Halo Anniversary, Crimson Alliance, and Left 4 Dead. So they've worked on a bunch of shooters and a bunch of really big known franchises. What else is interesting about Certain Affinity is that the CEO, Max Hoberman, was the former multiplayer and online lead for the Halo series. So they have obviously a good relationship with Microsoft, and this probably seems like a good match make for a studio to go in and make a third-party exclusive game for the Xbox ecosystem and for Xbox Game Pass. Now, how this all came about was that Xbox was looking for just a Monster Hunter style of game, and they knew that for them to go out and get Monster Hunter, the actual game itself, onto Game Pass, it would cost them a lot of money. So Jeff Grubb says here they're working with Certain Affinity on what seems like a Monster Hunter style game, a Monster Hunter clone. They see this gameplay style succeeding, and Microsoft's like, hey, we should try to make one of those. Is anyone out there going to pitch one? They want more variety in the kinds of games they're putting on Game Pass, and this is an example of that. They're like, we probably can't get Monster Hunter on Game Pass. They would be pretty expensive, but we definitely want a game like that because we see the potential for that to grow and be a big thing with a long-term support. And that does make a lot of sense because this is going to be a co-op game. You're going to be able to jump in with your friends and go around the world and all that type of stuff. And we're seeing games like that succeed. Most recently, Rainbow Six Extraction. I mean, that's a perfect Xbox Game Pass game because it is a PvE game, co-op game, and you jump in with your friends. And that game is going to, I'm assuming if it's successful, continuously be supported for years to come, and they're going to continue to add content in it. So you'll always be able to have something to do. And this sounds like a game that will also have a lot of those same features. So that's more Game Pass stuff we can look forward to. I mean, this is one of the big things for Xbox, is that if there is a gap in their Xbox Game Pass release schedule where they don't have a first party game going forward, or they just have a couple of months, such as the time frame you can think about, which is when Stalker 2 is supposed to come out, so that April-May area where there doesn't really seem to be much going on, they can continue to reach out to third parties like this and try to strike some deals in order to fill those holes, so that there's always at least one big game to look forward to coming out on Xbox Game Pass. Now, on top of that brand new game, it's also mentioned here that Jez Corden has said, "I've received some separate hints that Certain Affinity may also be working on a new game mode for Halo Infinite, which could be a take on the popular Battle Royale formula or something completely different entirely." So obviously not a lot of information there, but there will be more game modes coming to Halo Infinite. I wouldn't be surprised if a bunch of brand new ones make their way to the game at some point. I mean, we just saw the event that with the attrition game mode, and you can kind of see them already implementing some of that Battle Royale stuff in there with like the closing of the arena as you get down to the end of it into just a very small area where you have to take out your enemies. So we'll see what happens. I mean, I am not personally a Battle Royale fan. I don't play any of them, but I've always said that if Halo created a Battle Royale game, I would most likely check it out. All right, jumping over here to Call of Duty. So Call of Duty right now is cross-platform, cross-generation, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series X and S, and it looks like that isn't going to be lasting for very much longer, as Tom Henderson, who is pretty well known for leaking information, especially with games like Battlefield and Call of Duty, tweeted this out specifically, saying Warzone 2 is literally that. Warzone 2, current gen and PC only, no past weapon integrations, etc. A completely new game for the better hardware. And then this account here, Modern Warzone, again, a big first-person shooter Call of Duty account, responds to that saying, "First, I've heard of this being backed up. Only previous report, I believe, on next gen and old gen for Modern Warfare 2 belongs to you as well. Originally, I believe, hopefully the market can sustain demand for next gen consoles by then." And Tom Anderson replies saying, "I think Xbox and Sony are producing 20-25 million current gen consoles combined. There's 20 million or so already in circulation, so 60 million minimum by the time it releases. COD 23 is also current gen only as well, last I heard." So that's interesting, because right now the rumors going around are that COD 2022 is Modern Warfare 2, so that's going to be a massive release, and putting that on cross generation makes sense, especially right now there's 20 million consoles for next gen or for current gen in circulation, and they're going to want to have a bigger base for that game to push it out to. And then after that, if we get up to around 60 million in circulation, there's probably less of a risk to only release that on the PS5 Series X and S, and that may be like a new Black Ops or a remake of the older Black Ops, who knows. But in 2023 as well, that's apparently going to be the last game that's current under contract right now with Activision, meaning that it may be the last multi-platform game, and then going forward after that, 2024 and beyond, all of the Call of Duties are only going to be next gen, and they are going to be only on the Xbox ecosystem unless Xbox decides that they want to keep them on PlayStation. But Warzone 2, that's going to be bigger than all of those games, I think. And if that's only next gen, that will be interesting to see. So you're going to have a current, I guess, GPU on PC as well as a Series X, Series S, or PlayStation 5. Luckily, I mean, by the time that comes out, the consoles will probably be more available. And I think a game like that will probably push people out to go out and buy a console no matter what. So that's probably what they're banking on as well. And we may see some like crazy marketing with these games. I think Xbox, one of the big things that they have now isn't just putting the games on their console and just living it there. They can start marketing like crazy stuff with the Call of Duty franchise. Like, you look what they did with the Series S and Fortnite and Rocket League. Imagine them doing that as well with Warzone 2 on the Series S. How crazy that's going to push out that console for the price of the console, and then having the marketing power of Call of Duty on there with it. It'll be nuts how many of those are going to be pushed during the holiday season especially. And finally, jumping over here to something I think is just extremely cool. This is unseen footage from Star Wars 1313. Now, this is a game that was announced back in 2012, and when they announced it, it was pretty hype in the sense that this seemed like the Star Wars game everybody was wanting and waiting for, and we hadn't gotten in a very long time. And then we all know the story that unfortunately, I guess Disney bought the Star Wars franchise, canceled this game, and we never got it, and we never really saw what this game potentially was going to be. But now, as you guys can see here on the screen, some unseen footage, and man, watching this footage, although it's obviously very, very early, it's like a prototype of what they were going to put out. All the assets aren't even close to being complete. It makes me even more sad that this game got canceled, because this looks awesome. It just looks like the Star Wars game everybody wanted. But on the bright side about all of that is we did get Jedi Fallen Order, which is probably closer to this than other Star Wars games we've seen in the past. Minus the fact, obviously, you're not playing as Boba Fett and you're playing as Cal Kestis. But man, this looks super cool. And it's a shame that this game never came out. And maybe one day we'll get a revival now, especially with the show out on Disney Plus, the Book of Boba Fett. Maybe they'll want to capitalize on that and give us a game similar to what we see here. But yeah, I'll have the link to this video in the description below if you want to check out the entire 3-minute clip. Anyways, guys, that's it for me. Let me know what you think about this in the comments below. Are you excited about this new Monster Hunter style game coming exclusively to Xbox? What are your thoughts on Call of Duty and the cross-generation release schedule that we are seeing right now? And what do you think about that unseen footage from Star Wars 1313? If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that thumbs up button. If you're new here, you like what you saw throughout this video, I'd appreciate you hitting that subscribe button. Thank you guys all for watching. Thank you for your support, and I'll catch you in the next video.